So the first thing we're going to do is set up our sonar. If you want to know more about how the sonar works, go and check out the sonar tutorial video. But for now, I'm just going to show you how to connect the sonar to a breadboard and then to the Arduino Uno. So I'm going to take my sonar, and for the game, I'm going to place it somewhere around the center of the board. Doesn't exactly matter where you put it, it's up to you, but somewhere about there should be fine, and gently push it in. Next, I'm going to connect this to the Arduino Uno. So first of all, I'm going to take a jumper cable, and I'm going to start off looking at the labels here. We've got our ground, echo, trigger, and VCC, which is the power. So I'm going to start with the VCC to get some power to our sonar. So I'm going to put my jumper cable in. Remember, it doesn't matter where I put it in this line, but it must be lined up with the VCC pin. So to keep things simple, I'm not going to put it too close, just going to put it about there, should do it. So I've placed that in there, and this is going to my power on the Arduino Uno, which is my 5 volts, which is just there. My 5 volts, that's my power coming out. So I'm going to plug that into there. That's in the 5 volts. Next, we need to use ground. So I'm going to take another jumper cable, and this time I'm going to line it up with my ground pin, which is this end, and making sure I'm on the correct line, place it in there, just so you can have a look. And this is going to one of my ground ports on the Arduino Uno. And to keep things simple, I'm just going to put it right next to the 5 volts where it says GND for ground. So I'll let you have a look at that. So my 5 volts and my ground next door. So that's my sonar connected with power and to ground. Next, I need to do my echo and trigger. Now these are explained in the sonar tutorial video, so I won't go over that again now. Just going to look at connecting them up. So let's have a look in there. Get it closer so you can see. Let's get these out of the way, shall we? Now I'm going to go from my trigger, which is next to the VCC. Get it in there, my trigger, and now I'm going to connect it to the other side of my Uno board. Now there are different numbers you can use, but the code that I've given you on the website uses the number 10 pin for the trigger. So this one for the trigger is going to go into the number 10 on here. And that's just because I've used number 10 in the code, which we'll look at later. So it's going into number 10. So that's my trigger sending out the signal, and my echo, which is the one that we have left here. See if I can get in there and show you. Just there, where it says echo. So that I need to connect up, and my echo is going to go to the number 9 pin. And again, I'm using number 9 just because that's the number I've already used in the code that I have supplied. Great, that's our sonar already connected up. Okay, you've got your sonar all ready to go. And next step for the buried treasure game, we need 2 red LEDs, one to say that you're too close and one to say you're too far away. And we need our green LED to say you've found the treasure, and the buzzer that also goes off when you found the treasure. So let's start with one of the red LEDs. If you've followed the other videos, you should remember that we have these 2 legs. We've got the short leg, which is the ground or negative, and the longer leg, which is the positive that goes to one of the numbered outputs. Now I'm going to remember where this ground leg is, and I like to put that just on the outside edge of the board so that I remember where it is. So I'm going to put one light over here this side, and that is my shorter ground leg there. So I need to connect from one of these holes here. So just going to go just there is fine, as long as that's lined up there with the ground leg. And I'm going to take that to the blue line along the bottom. That is going to use for my negative line here. And then I'm going to take that to the ground on the Arduino board. So I'm just going to go from there and take this to the ground pin, which is just there on my board. So that's going from ground to this blue line, and that's going to be connected to the ground leg of the LED there. Now the next step is to connect up the positive leg, which will go to one of our numbered outputs. So I'm just going to take my jumper cable here and putting it next to that ground, and get that so you can see. So this is now lined up here with that positive, and this is going to go into the number 13 on my board. Again, that's just because that's the number I've already used in the code. So we've got 2 red LEDs. One is going to be in 13 and the other is going to be in 11. One for when you're too close, one for when you're too far away. And the green for when you've found it, we're going to put in number 12. So that's one of our red LEDs connected. Now we need to do the same for another red LED, which I'm going to put on the other side of the board. So here's my next LED again. I'm looking at which is that shorter leg that will go to ground, and just to help me remember, I'm putting that on the outside edge of the board. So that one is going in there. And first of all, I'm going to deal with the ground line. So I'm going to take it from the shorter leg, which is that one, and from here to that blue line there. So I've got it connected from this shorter leg, going from here to here along this blue line, and to this one, which leads to the ground on the Arduino board. So that's all I need to do for the negative for there. And next is for the positive. So I'm just going to put that right next to it, just in there. And the other red LED is going to go into number 11, which is just there. Okay, so we've got one red LED in 12 and the other red LED is in 11. So that's my 2 reds set up, and the next one we're going to do is the green LED. So here's my green LED, and once again we need to know which is the shorter leg for the ground, And this time I'm just going to put the green somewhere. I think we don't want it right behind here. Somewhere just there should be fine. So that's my green that will come on when you've found the right spot. Now, if we have to just check so we can see where that shorter leg is, and that has to go to my ground line. Oops, that's just bent. Let me straighten that up. Okay, so that shorter leg is here, and that one I'm taking to the ground line. So I'm going to go from there and taking this to the blue line at the bottom, like that. Remember, this whole blue line, all of these are connected, and through this one it leads to the ground port on the Arduino Uno board. And next we need to connect that green up to the positive, to the number output. So I'm just going to plug in next to that there. So that's in line with the longer, the positive leg. And then I'm going to take this to the number 12 on my board, because that's the number I've already set up in the code to use the green LED. Great, so we've got our 3 LEDs set up, and the last thing is the buzzer. So here's my buzzer, and again we need to look out for where that shorter leg is, and this one's sometimes a bit trickier to plug in, because once you've put it in you can't necessarily see where the legs are anymore. So, we've got so many wires here. I'm just going to put it in somewhere there, and remembering where that shorter ground leg is. So that's just there. It's my ground leg, and that's my positive. So let's deal with the ground first of all. So I just need to look very carefully, make sure I get it lined up. So this is the ground line there, and that of course needs to go to my blue negative or ground line along here, joining those others. And then finally I need to connect up the positive, and that will be going to the number 8 on the Arduino board. So just looking along there, checking I've got it in the right place. So that's all lined up. Hope you can see that. So that one is there, it's lined up there. It's a little tricky to see, so I'll move it around. And now I can push that in all the way gently. And I'm going to take my positive for the buzzer and find the number 8 on the Arduino and plug it into there. Okay, that's your hardware setup for the buried treasure game, and the next step will be to connect it to the computer and upload the code to the board. So I've brought my laptop over here, and I've got my USB cable ready. So first of all, we're taking this square end and plugging it into here, and just pushing it in firmly. It won't go the whole way, there is this slight gap. And then we need to plug this end into the USB port on your computer, and we can check that things are connected if we see the light come on. Okay, there we go, and the green on light is on. So that's all connected, and next we'll move over to upload the code to the board. So I have my buried treasure code open here, that you can find on the website. We can have a quick look that we see our trigger pin is 10 and our echo pin is 9 as set up on the sonar on the board. We've got one red going to 13, red 2 is going to 11, our green is in 12 and our buzzer is in 8. And if you follow the video so far, all of that should be connected up correctly. If this is your first time, I'll just go through a reminder about making sure your board is all connected. So we go to Tools. First, make sure you have Arduino Uno from the list here, and then make sure that you've chosen the correct port. If you're not sure, basically if it doesn't work, you've probably got the wrong one here. And then all you have to do is go to Upload. I'll tell you it's compiling down here. First checking for any errors in the code here, but there shouldn't be any errors there. And then it will begin uploading. Okay, it's done uploading, so it is ready to play. But to get it running, we need to go to the serial monitor that is up here. Open that, and it will say type Y to play. And once you type Y, so if there's nothing in the way of your board, it'll say that you're too far, and one of your red LEDs should come on. I'm just going to put my hand in front of the sonar. So now it's too close, and the other red LED has come on. And then whilst you're testing, you'll just kind of have to move your hand around a bit or some obstacle to find, there we go, to find the correct winning spot. And when that happens, you should hear the buzzer and the green light should flash. So hopefully that's all working for you, and you're going to have some fun playing the buried treasure game. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.